Hey, this is Post Editing Kenchi. What's up? Hey, real fast, guys. I do want to let you know I'm making an effort to stream on YouTube at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, that is US time, on Wednesdays and on Sundays. So 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be announcing every single time if there's ever a delay or anything like that on my Discord. If you have any questions, please go there. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know. A lot of people keep asking me if I'm going to stream or not. So that's what I'm doing. So today, I know this is a bit of a short video, so I do apologize for that. But tomorrow you will have more content through that. I will be streaming for at least a couple hours. So I'm going to say 2 to 4, maybe even 5 hours. We'll just have to wait and see. But I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hey, what is up, guys? So today, as you can tell, we are going to be discussing the AD build, alright? So you guys have been asking me to build Divine Sunder a lot, right? You guys have been asking me. I think some of you said Trinity as well. So here's what I did. For the past about 3 to 4, maybe even 5 hours, I have been playing non-stop AD Kench. And let me tell you, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. So let me kind of explain how those games went. I could go through the process of showing you the games, but truthfully, it's just going to take a lot of time. I don't want to take the time to edit all that, but let me kind of tell you why I think AD Kench is just not viable anymore. So whenever I was building AD, the first thing you have to keep in mind with AD Kench, right? Let's talk about old Kench, because old Kench, I think AD Kench was viable. Why? Let's talk about that first. Why was AD Kench viable? The biggest reason AD Kench was viable before was your cooldown. The cooldown on Tongue Lash. It being 5 seconds instead of starting at 7 going down to 5 makes a huge difference, guys. A huge difference. The reason I'm saying this is because before you were able to stun a lot faster and a lot more often. Now the cooldown is so high that you're not able to do that. So unless obviously you have more ability haste, but if you're building this as the first item, it just doesn't make sense. You lack health, first of all. Yes, they do give you a bit of health, but they don't really give you resistances compared to the tank mythics. So the other thing is the spellblade or whatever it's called on, let's use Divine Sunder as a example here. So as an example, Divine Sunder, so yeah, spellblade, after using ability your next attack is enhanced. So a lot of you were making the argument of, okay, but after your Q, after your E, yes, I do agree, after your Q and after your E you are using an ability and it will help with that. But again, your cooldown on Q is a lot higher than what it used to be. And E, although you will be using it, it's very situational as to how often you use it during a fight. So I feel like you're not really getting everything out of Spellblade, in my opinion. Then you have Armor and Magic Penetration. Although those are two very strong, that's a very strong passive, I don't think Tahm Kench takes full, uses it fully to 100% extent, if that makes sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So then after trying Divine Sunder for a long time, I decided to try Trinity Force. Trinity Force, so let's kind of compare the two. So it gives you a bit more attack speed, it gives you a little bit less attack damage, and it gives you a little bit less health with some ability haste. But you also have Spellblade, which is similar to this, to Divine Sunder, but not fully. But you also have 20 movement speed for 3 seconds after you attack something, which is really nice on Tahm Kench, I will agree, or I will admit. However, you run once again into the same issue, even more with Trinity Force. You have less health, and now you have attack speed, but the health is so important on Tahm Kench, and I'm going to go into that in a moment. The last thing I tried was Stridebreaker, and Stridebreaker actually felt better than both of those. The Halting Slash actually felt pretty decent. I was going to a Singed, so it felt good, and I think it wasn't as good into Singed as you would think. I think into a different matchup, it would have worked even better. And on this one, I was actually ahead when I built this, and it still doesn't really hit the mark. Yes, you have more health. Yes, you are doing more damage with your passive, but it just doesn't feel as strong. You don't feel... Tahm Kench, whenever I played Tahm Kench, I feel like the strongest person in the game, almost at all times. Even if I'm dying, even if I'm behind, I still feel strong. I still can tell myself, I'm going to take this engage. I'm 3 levels behind, I'm still taking this engage because I got bombies and vest, as an example. Something stupid like that. And it works out in a lot of cases. Building AD just doesn't really feel that good, because although you are attacking faster and maybe doing a bit more damage, you're taking a lot more damage because you don't have as much health as you would usually, and you don't have as many resistances. And the problem with not being able to resist as much damage is that your cooldown is higher, so you're not able to stun as fast as other people, you're not able to hit as fast as other people, and you lose a lot of fights because you are building AD. I experienced this more than once with a lot of different things, and it just does not make any sense to me. Health is so important because it helps you with your passive, it helps you sustain longer so you have enough time to get your ability down and be able to use your Q a lot more often. And the other thing with Spellblade, on the old Tahm Kench, you had Q, your W, and your E that you would be using Spellblade on, right? On the new Tahm Kench, let's be honest, you're only using 2 abilities. This one you're usually not going to use it in the middle of a fight, and if you're using it just for the Spellblade, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. A lot of you have said you've tried this and you actually liked it, and I would love to hear more of your guys' opinions regarding it, just because again, I just did not have a good time with it. The other thing to keep in mind, you're building AD, what ability stacks or synergizes with AD? None of the above. So you are building something that Tahm Kench isn't really designed to be built on, and the attack speed that felt so good back then felt so good because you had your Q a lot sooner. So the more attack speed you had, the faster you could stun people, and that felt really nice. But this, with this reworked Tahm Kench, I think AD is out of the question. Another thing I want to say about this is I would only ever, if ever, build it when I'm ahead. Building AD from behind, which I did a couple games, felt terrible. You are the most useless freaking champion in the game. I cannot express that enough. You don't have enough health or enough sustain to do anything, and you don't do enough damage as other AD champions to actually do something in the game. Playing from behind as AD Kench felt terrible. Playing from behind with Tahm Kench still works great. I think it still works amazing. If anything, it works better than it used to because of all the things that have been added, especially to his Q and things like that. And also keep in mind, you are recovering a percentage of your missing health, and the more health you have, the more missing health you're going, or the more health overall you're going to recover with your Q whenever you hit a champion. So that's my opinion on AD Tahm Kench. I know you guys keep asking me about builds, so I'm going to do a quick update as to where I'm at in terms of builds. What's my general idea right now? Obviously, from what I've talked about now, you know that AD for me is out of the question. I am not going to ever build it, to be honest. I don't think I will ever build AD Tahm Kench, unless I'm memeing or I'm trolling for something and I'm trying to do a special video or something, because I think it'll be funny. Which usually involves crits. If it's crit, then I think I'd be more open to it, but Juggernaut Kench just does not really work for me. I don't really have fun. Okay, so let's talk about other builds real fast because you guys love knowing updates. I did play a couple games with you guys on stream. As of right now, this is what feels the strongest. Sunfire and Frostfire. Definitely the 2 best mythics in my opinion. I am still exploring Anathema's chains. As you guys could tell, I had a lot of fun building this item, and I am going to be trying to rush this a lot more. So I am going to be doing a lot of testing with rushing Anathemas into Sunfire, or rushing, Kindle Gem into Bramble Vest, into Anathemas, into Sunfire, and obviously get your boots somewhere along the way. So I think that is the strongest build so far, in my opinion. From what I've experienced, that has worked the best. Frostfire, I will be building it more often than I used to, and the reason for it is because, again, you lack the ability haste early. I think having Frostfire is going to help you a lot. It brings a lot of utility to the champions. And the other thing I want to mention with these two is they help you with wave clear, which is really, really important. Even though you are getting less health from these mythics, you are getting more resistance from these mythics than you would have with the other items. So surviving longer, being able to slow or being able to do more damage through Sunfire, because over time, Sunfire does a lot of damage, guys. It really does, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of, in terms of a full build, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking this into this, grab boots somewhere along the way, Thornmail if you need to finish it, Spear Visage, and then you have one item. I can't imagine not building this item. I really can't. If you want more damage after that, boom, Titanic Hydra. That's kind of where I'm at. Off the top of my head, that's where I'm at. Because look at how much damage you're actually doing. And then once you stack the Sunfire, it's so strong, guys. This is super strong. And you have a lot of health. You have a lot of resistances as well. You also have extra healing with Spirit Visage. You have the also the shielding is 25% more effective on you, which is also really good. And if they have a carry, you have Anathemas to use on to minimize the damage dealt by them, to help you become an anti-carry pretty much. So you can pretty much go into ADCs that have been fed, and they do a lot less damage to you. And you being a top laner, being ahead in levels and everything like that, I think will work amazing. So that's off the top of my head how I feel about it. And the other thing that you guys keep asking about is AP. So let me talk about AP just a little bit. Guys, I don't mean this to be a very similar video to the other one, but I was meaning to actually be, I was meaning to do a video regarding Kraken, or sorry, not Kraken, regarding Divine Sunder or Trinity, or what's the other one, Stridebreaker. But it just, honestly, I spent so much time trying to make them work. I really don't see it working, to be honest. If we're talking AP, I have built into Everfrost and then started building tank from there. It doesn't feel half bad. It's not terrible. It's not great. The other one I've been building is Riftmaker, and Riftmaker actually does feel pretty good, but you do lack the attack speed, so I would recommend going something like Berserker Greaves, or maybe even Ionian Boots, just so you can stun a lot more often. I think right now Kench definitely does need a bit more cooldown reduction, or sorry, ability haste, than he used to. So that's kind of my thoughts. I haven't fully explored the AP side of it, so I am going to do a lot more tests on the AP side and hopefully bring you a video of that soon. But I just wanted to let you guys know that AD Kench for me is out. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments. Give me your thoughts on this. I really want to know what you guys are building. If you guys have something that you guys go that really works and it works all the time or most of the time, please let me know. I'm open to any suggestions. I'm willing to try all these out for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the recent support that you guys have been giving me, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.